Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm Susan, your intuitive, and this is your love and money intuitive tarot and astrology reading for June 2025 and Gemini season, whichever one you'd like to call it. No, my cards are not upside down. You are feeling it. Two of Wands just fell out. You are feeling it. What are you feeling? Love is first, by the way. Love is first. What are you feeling? You are feeling so much heightened intuition at this time. So much is coming through to you, and you may be feeling very connected to, if you're partnered, you might be feeling very connected to this person. The Two of Wands is saying that you may have this connection in this insight, in this observation to yourself and to the world around you. You feel this as you are the cosmic mother, this cosmic identity, this very micro to the macro. In terms of your relationship right now, you can see perhaps how clear whatever's been being released, and I want to say drained out from your 12th house for Cancer risings. Gemini, Jupiter has been in your 12th house for almost a year and is just about to switch into your first house coming up, which is why I kind of waited to do your reading, because I wanted to really feel, I was already feeling it, but there's so much happening. I really wanted to feel into the month before your reading. So with love, you may be feeling really connected to this person, a lot of passion, a lot of not just values, but actions coming together, and a plan for the life that you may want to live together that is connecting very much to your external observations, your witnessing of what you want and why you want it, as far as you can go, right? Like, how far can you go with the why until you're like, okay, intuition now, right? Because you go back and forth. You go back and forth because you have to make decisions. You have to live your life. You have to do your thing. And if you've taken the time necessary to address whatever you've been releasing in the 12th house of sorrow, hidden realms, hidden enemies, self-sabotage, spirituality, dreams, you may have received a lot of very clear, concise, straightforward insights about how to communicate in relationship. If you're in a relationship, the way that you guys connect over not only your present, but where that brings your future, the way that you're connecting to your relationships at this time, and the way that you're being so much more free, less constrained, maybe even youthful, childlike, the page here, with your words. And it's not like an immaturity, it's actually a growth into feeling less attached and being able to present things in a way that really allows you to see things as clearly as you can where you are, and this full circle moment that may happen for you. You may also, it may be really wise of you to have these consistent communications instead of these conversations that maybe once put strain or once put some test or lesson or learning on your relationships. It's now very clear that whatever you've been working through in terms of the past, so you can connect to your future. Whatever that bridge is, that bridge may be how you feel about your past until now, how you feel about where you are, and what you can control to plan forward, what you can actually create, what you can observe. Because the moment you have judgment, Cancer, in any area of your life, especially within your most intimate, if there's judgment there, you're already putting blocks. And it's okay to have judgment if it's for your betterment, if it's for your survival, it's for protection, it's for seeing what you need to see. But if it's a judgment on yourself that's stopping you from moving forward, you're now getting to a really clear place where you can observe this and bring in that page of Swords energy of like learning to really get to that point, and to that point, you're like, well, what's the point? Getting to the point of where you're able to let go of any preconceived judgments of you've had because you didn't have that question in mind, or you didn't have that thing in mind. You can't go anything alone, even though you are and are able to feel so much on a micro level to the macro and how much you can relate. There's still this part of you that is being pulled Ace of Wands, so Two of Wands to the Ace. You might have to scrap the plan or whatever you thought the plan was. And I think like you've known that and you've been feeling it, and now it's the full circle moment is like scrapping the plan, even though it may happen. It's the attachment to the plan. It's attachment to the outcome. It's attachment to wherever you think this is going, right? And now you kind of get that thing of like, oh, if I just put something, because you already know this with things in your life. However, you like to have something not only to look forward to, and if you don't know that about yourself, a lot of water fire signs, they love something to look forward to. And we realize now, Jupiter and Gemini has taught you, anywhere Gemini is in your chart, 12th house, is where we try to speed transitions. And where, for better or for worse, Jupiter expanded whatever we needed to see, meaning negative or positively, in these areas of our life. So whatever you needed to expand within your subconscious needed to see how you address things. Because from Two of Wands to Ace of Wands, through the world, is like through this portal, through seeing yourself release while seeing yourself move forward, really seeing the energy that you are, that is really this behind the scenes, yet it's not just behind the scenes, it's a very deep internal part of your process, and it's being really expanded through the gaze of Gemini. And this Ace of Wands is saying like, okay, what do you want to do? Like, what do you want to create? And maybe you've been on a certain trajectory because you thought, that was maybe the right way to go, or whatever your belief was. And now that you realize that there is another point to this relationship, to this belief in yourself, that you can actually really create, there's something that clicks in you through your relationship. You get to see how you can actually do that now, how you can look back and then bring yourself back to reality of the present moment and recognize all that you have had to let go to become who you are now. And that gives you this validation of the power that you hold within your intuition, because you've learned something that you've really needed to learn, that is not only coming full circle, but giving you energy for whatever idea you have in mind for your relationships. Like, this has been a time in your life where you've had to really take a step back in relationship to yourself, because Mars was like just driving, like was just a heavy, and just, you didn't know even yourself, you didn't even know what would be brought to the table. It's the mother wound. For some people, it really was the father wound, however that energy is tangled in your life. And for you, this is a renewal of your identity in relationship. What your closest relationship, your most intimate relationship, whether you've been in one or you're looking or you're out there connecting with people, there's this renewal of who you are in this area of your life. There is it's not necessarily transparency, but there's less holding back. There's less feeling heavy about who you are. It's more of an openness and this authenticity to the potency and the density in which that which makes you you. And you're like, well, and I'm just like, this is your relationship. Yeah, in your relationship, especially if it's safe, like there is a part of you that's emerging that is giving so much light to every other arena, every other area of your life, that is helping you come full circle and realize that it's possible that one of these wands was really holding you back, was really taking a lot of energy. And even if a version of that idea or a version of whatever that is comes back around, it'll be different. There's a reason why it was there. And the reason for that is that you needed to see what was weighing you down, what was taking your energy away, in order to clearly move yourself forward and create this massive opening. So whatever you're releasing in relationship, people, versions of yourself, who you're no longer going to be, because Mars is Cancer risings in your second house, your self-worth, how that connects to your material growth. That might also be being let go of. A lot is being let go of. And even though it has been uncomfortable and you understand that, you know, if you have a Cancer or someone with major Cancer placements, you know that they hide, and when they're hiding for a reason. And it's usually because they have something to address within themselves. And if you're Cancer who always likes to hide, it's possible that you just really need to take that time and just stay in instead of just like going in and out, which is obviously, if it's a part of your life, that's a part of your life. But it's also, is it giving you enough time to process what you need to process? That's all I'm asking. That's it. That's it. No big deal. All right. Okay. So money. Before we get to money, or while the cards are being shuffled, all information to work with me one-on-one is below. My schedule link, payment options, website, and then Patreon, where you get the extended version. I was going to try to make these a little shorter, but we'll get there. See if we can do it. Yeah, so Patreon link where you get this and the extended right to your email. And yeah, if you want to, it's there for you. Venusian wave on everything. So love, let's talk about love. Cancer, or money for Cancer. Venus which is love and money, is going into your 11th house. It's been in your 10th house. Okay. A lot has transitioned into your 10th house too. So this is also preparing for that. This next 3 months, Cancer, life-changing for you. Life-changing. Things that are becoming clear to you. That's why, like, I really, when I do my intention and my prayer before I sit down, as I sit down to start your reading, I really pray that you allow yourself to let go, regardless of how painful it could be, regardless if it's been a distraction for you in your whole life, because there's so much you get to play with this year. So much. Mercury is also meeting up, coming to say, hey. Mercury is moving into your first house if you're a Cancer rising. It's not until the end of the month when I think, no, it's actually in the beginning. My bad. It's actually, I thought that was, no, that's Leo. It's on the 8th. So it's going to go, so you're getting all of these messages, and then it will move into your second house, where your skills, your talents, your resources, which is even more the Magician here. So it's almost like I've been prepping you for what's coming through now, which is, what do you want to utilize on your table? And what on your table, what could be benefited from putting it out there, getting feedback, or doing a course, or creating something where you can just start to play around, regardless if there's money involved. There's something about like having this playful attitude, that Page of Swords, like having the ability to like rethink of things, and it's like not being attached to the ideas that come to mind, and letting yourself like take one thing and shape it, see it, and see how you can. And letting yourself do that with a few things if you have the energy. And if you don't, then it's that one thing, and just play around different perspectives of it. The Magician is a time of alchemy. So also like, what are your skills? Like if you don't want to hop jobs yet, if you don't want to move jobs, because by the full moon, the 11th, so the 8th, Mercury move into your sign, and then by the 11th, we'll have the full moon. And that will illuminate to you, for Cancer risings in the 6th house, your work, your day-to-day work, what it is that you really need to see about how you interact with work, and the energy that you may be putting there that you may need to put in the other things. So you might become a little bit more reserved and quiet at work because you're wanting to put your energy elsewhere, or you might just pull back in certain ways. And some of you, it really is just letting go of any emotional attachments. Even if you're not like super friendly with your coworkers, it's just like letting things be what they are. And I know that like there are some of you that like, I'm good at that, but like, is anything else pulling on you that's keeping you from like the magic that you can create? Are you wanting to make more money and have more freedom? Like, where can you start? What is the long-term plan may be coming to you, but you need to start in order for it to develop. And that's just where you are someone who's always kind of in motion. Even when you're like in your shell, there's like still this motion about you. Even if you're stuck, there's still so much like gold in like wherever you find yourself stuck. And if you find yourself stuck with money, where are you giving away your energy? That's what I would say to you. Where are you giving it away? Oh, we have Ace of Pentacles at the bottom. 7 of Swords, Death, and the 3 of Swords. Wow. Wow. Quite a transformation. Quite a transformation. So, this is a transformation through the ways in which that you've developed how to relate to people. This came from wherever in your life, where you were raised, where you grew up. You are this Magician energy. This could be also where some people have been deceiving you about money, where you've been deceiving yourself, where you've learned maybe lack. You're transforming something that has been perhaps a way you've lived for quite some time. Something that's like truly has been ingrained within you. Now, if there is a Sagittarius in your life, they may be opening you up to these different ways of seeing. And if this is about a Scorpio, or you're dealing with Scorpio, interestingly enough, the full moon in Sag is that going to be at a Scorpio degree. So if any of you have any placements in Sagittarius at the 20th degree or mutable signs, just take a look. Just take a look. I would say more so Sag and Gemini, because it's just a luminary. Not just a luminary, it is a luminary because you are ruled by the moon, so it's extra sensitive. Yeah, wherever you've been, your energy's been draining, and it's possible that 3 of these swords, 3 of the 7 swords, right, just really is it too intense if I say really dug into your mechanics, into your patterning, into what makes your brain feel safe? So you may be dealing with that to some extent, and It could even be connected for Cancer risings to the 5th house where Scorpio is, and that's pleasure, children, creative energy. That also has to do with romance. So this new beginning you're getting in love is illuminating in money where it is that you have, where this connects, where this transformation illuminates your ability to start new while you process whatever it is in your mind, knowing that you have the strength for it, knowing in some ways you've already traversed it, trusting that moving to what is actually pleasure, what is actually going to create more for your life, could be a little painful at first because you're not used to it. And that brings me to Cancer risings, Leo in your 2nd house. All of these outer transits, everything is supporting you, and it may not feel like it, but with Mercury, Mars has been in your 2nd house, and now Mercury is going to enter it. It wants to innovate and create new things based off of who you are. Aquarius will be in your 8th house of how you make money. How you make money can be very much, it could be very different by next year. I know that sounds wild for those of you who've been in the same position. However, if you address your mind and really do something every day to help your mind. You know, if working out helps your mind, if going for a walk helps your mind, meditating helps your mind, if hanging out with your plants, hanging out with someone, whatever helps your mind, if you address it, the energy that you can bring into your life is so new, and it's like you're ready for it. You've been prepping for it. You want this. You want a change. You want a shift. It can be scary, but for some reason right now, you're being held and supported in a way that you're used to feeling responsible for, but because of how much you've learned and how much you've been learning to let go of, you realize, and if you haven't, control can be wanting control or thinking that you are always responsible. You can be responsible for a lot, but even within you, just letting go of that and finding safety, even if you are continuously externally responsible and you may not want to say no. It may be really authentic for you to say yes to in the ways that you do, but inside of yourself, just letting go and finding safety, just in case one day you couldn't do it. Just in case, right? And that seems so small, but for you, it's big. For making money, even more, if you're wanting to make more money, or you're wanting more abundance, you're wanting more time, what does wealth look like to you? What does a legacy look like to you? And how do you develop that on the day-to-day? Aries did not come out at all, but Saturn went into Aries. This is earth sign energy, and that's in your 10th house. Your role that you play is shifting. Something's coming to a head, and you are realizing that there's so much power and there's so much that you have to offer, but that's been hiding behind some of this pain, some of this hurt that's been unaddressed. Or just this is the process to addressing it, right? I like rewording things like that is helpful because there's so much shame, there's so much guilt, there's so much fear in transformation and changing, and I feel like it helps rewire my brain to say that all outside to and show you where I'm at in my process, because we're all in our own process, Cancer, and I think you're someone who does truly accept that, but has a hard time sometimes seeing your process. But your process is about to have a major expansion, and the contractions, just birthing, right? That's also, right? That's children in the 5th house. Birthing, transforming. It's not easy, but we're all being pulled through it. We're all being contracted so we can expand, because you're meant to be seen. So if you've been also just naturally working out, naturally getting yourself healthy, naturally just building your energy and your vitality, and you're just like, you're doing shit, and like, you're not like necessarily like looking for the validation. You're just out here living your life, and you're being pulled to have more fun. beautiful. Follow that. Follow that. Follow it. You're secure and you're safe is your mantra if you want one. All right, so all information for the next part. This is gorgeous. Gorgeous. We'll see you in the next part. All information to work with me is below, Cancer. This is going to be quite an intuitive ride. Yeah. See you next time.